Chicken Parmesan is an all-time classic dish, but sometimes change is needed. Today, I'm gonna put a twist on it by making a pesto chicken Parmesan. Sounds simple enough, right? Everything you love about the OG, but with a few differences I know you'll love. I'm ready to make this, so let's get to work. Our pesto begins with a jalapeno and a couple cloves of garlic. I'm big on adding flavor at every single step, so we are going to roast these. Add just a little bit of olive oil, don't need that much. We're gonna roast them in the oven on broil for probably about 5 to 10 minutes till it picks up some color. I like to do that. You know, I don't know if I give this pesto to somebody and they were to try it and they would be like, oh my goodness, you roasted the garlic and jalapenos, if it would make that much of a flavor difference, but I feel like it would make a slight enough difference to add some complexity to it. So throw this in the oven, 5 to 10 minutes to get some color, and we'll start on the next. To a food processor, we're going to add all of our basil. I had washed, cleaned this. I actually had vacuum sealed it because I got it earlier in the week and I wanted it to stay pretty fresh. And then we're gonna go in there with our pine nuts. Time out. One thing I do not get is why pine nuts are $15. Like I'm gonna show you the container, 1 second. I paid $15 for this. Like look at the size of this. This is $15. If you know why pine nuts are so expensive, please let me know. And of course, these aren't just regular pine nuts. I did toast them last night, so they got a little bit of color to it. Adding flavor at every step we can. We'll add that to the blender. And then our garlic. Look how beautiful this looks. Amazing, come on, zoom in on me. Look at that. Just add that to it. And I like to go in there with just a little bit of lemon zest, add some brightness to it. Then, of course, some Parmesan cheese. Can't ever go too wrong with that. Sticking on theme for the recipe today. Add that to it, and then, of course, that is hot. This is, oh, that is fucking hot, right? Ah! Okay, and this is our jalapeno that we're gonna be using. Toast it up, it's really hot, so I'm gonna throw that in there. Put this lid back on, and I like to give it like a nice little rough chop before I start adding oil to it, just to make it easy. Come on now. There we go. And after that, then on low, I'm gonna stream in about a cup of oil, and like always, the recipe is down below. Bang, that's looking really good. It smells delicious already. My spatula. Oh yeah, we got some good pesto. And today I made it a little bit more runnier than usual. Usually I make it kind of more like paste-like, but today I really wasn't going for that. We're gonna add just a little bit of lemon juice as well. Add some more brightness to it. And then of course, you cannot forget the 2 OGs. You need some salt and some pepper like always. Since that Parmesan cheese is in there, I'm gonna go pretty light on the salt. Don't need too much of that because that is salty naturally. I've got a few gloves of pepper. Put this lid back on and we'll let it go. Add the rest of our oil. And this right here is where you always taste and adjust for seasoning. Let's see if I nailed it. I think I did nail it, to be honest. I'm confident. I've made this so many times on the recipe on the channel. I think I've made this like 3 or 4 times. So cheers, y'all. This is what it's looking like. My pesto tends to be a little bit darker just because I add some roasted garlic and jalapenos in it, but pesto is amazing. That is stellar. Just a little bit more salt and we call it a day. All right, cool. We set this to the side and we'll get started on our chicken breast. For our chicken part of the chicken Parmesan, starts with chicken titties, AKA chicken breast for the people that have no sense of humor. And we're just gonna slice this in half because as you can see, these are some big chicken breasts. Like, I was looking for some small ones. Look how big this is. Like, is this normal for it to be that big? Pause. But we're just gonna slice them right down the middle in half. And then of course we're gonna beat them out too, just to get them a little bit more flat so they cook evenly. So I just sliced it just like so. That was actually a really bad job, Dre, but that's okay. Tomato, right? So once you have your pieces looking like that, just put them on the tray right next to you. Rinse and repeat with the other chicken breast. I'm gonna knock this out and then I will see y'all in a second. Once that chicken is cut up, I was making my life a lot harder by using a boning knife. I'll just switch to a chef knife. And we're gonna pound this out till it is not super thin, but thin enough where they're all about the same size and they cook at the same rate because I don't want one piece cooking faster than the other. If I can get this bottle to stay closed. The one thing I realized I don't have in my kitchen is a mallet and that's not working. So instead, we're going to switch to a balsamic vinegar bottle. Just like so. Then you rinse and repeat. Even thickness, that's what we're aiming for, guys. To bread our chicken is simple. 3 parts, flour, eggs, breadcrumb. Of course, the flour is seasoned with the twins and a little bit of garlic powder and smoked paprika. Just keep it simple. We're gonna have so much flavor in this, so I don't really need to go crazy at this step. And then of course, dump it in the eggs. That's gonna help the next part stick. So get that going. I think this is 2 weeks of me frying food. I really try not to eat fried food that much, but I'm not gonna complain today, to be honest. Get all the excess off and then go and get into some breadcrumbs. And I season these breadcrumbs up with a little bit of Parmesan cheese and Italian seasoning. Again, keeping it simple, but just adding a little bit more flavor where I can, where I think it's needed. But if you don't wanna do that, by all means, you do not have to do that. That's the beautiful part of cooking. It's totally up to you. If you don't like a certain seasoning, don't use it. If you don't like breadcrumbs and you don't use panko breadcrumbs, I think those are pretty much the same thing. But y'all get what I'm saying, y'all get what I'm doing. Okay, and then after that, you have a nice, beautiful seasoned up, just put it on a tray, and then you rinse and repeat with all of your chicken breasts. And I'm about to yap, so if you're not trying to hear me yap, I'll put timestamps down below and then y'all can skip forward. But this past week, I went to go see Shits and Gigs. They are a comedy kind of podcast, and it was very inspiring. It was a good show, great show. Shout out to those boys. James, if you had some funny people. But it was inspiring because they talked about where they started 5 years ago and how they would have never thought to see this coming, and to see how packed it was in there. I don't know why I thought it wasn't gonna be packed. I thought like I was the only person that really listened to them, but it was packed. Everybody was going crazy. And it was just super inspirational to see what happens when you chase your dreams. And you know, they talked about how they never saw them doing a world tour, like part of them starting the podcast. That was just kind of like an afterthought per se. Like it was a big dream, like, oh, we'll never get to that point. And they talked about how that feeling they got to, or the feeling they have when they got to that point, and it was very inspirational, very, very inspirational. So if you out there, you got a dream, chase it, because you never know where it's going to take you. If that's cooking, if that's starting a podcast, trying to go pro in sports, whatever it is, chase your dreams, because it's really possible. Like I'm seeing it every single day now. How much of my dream is right in front of me. I just got to keep on pushing it. And another thing I noticed was I've posted consistently for a year. And I am shook. Like that is so crazy to think of. That's 52 videos consecutively for 365 days every Friday. So to see that is just wild, because my goal for this year obviously is to post every single Friday, and I missed a single upload. Last year I did miss some, but it's coming on up to that point in a year where I haven't missed a single upload in quite some time. So keep chasing your dreams. It's gonna happen. Believe in yourself. You can do anything you put your mind to. Now to fry our chicken. It's simple. My camera wasn't on for the first fry, but it's okay. We're gonna dump some chicken breast in there. And remember, we did pound these out thin, so they shouldn't take too long to cook. A couple minutes per side. Once it's golden brown, flip on the other side. And I have some pasta water boiling right next to me because pasta is going underneath this. I'm sure y'all can tell by the thumbnail, but get that going. Now we just wait. It's just a waiting game. I always say I'm gonna shallow fry, and I always fill up too much oil and it submerges the chicken. I have a problem with that. I don't know why, but yeah. 3 to 5 minutes, flip it over, same thing. Let it get golden brown. And then after a few minutes, just go ahead, give that a flip. That's looking so beautiful. This makes me the happiest man in the world when food comes out just looking so beautiful and delicious. All right, a couple more minutes, and then you just rinse and repeat with all your chicken, and then we'll get ready to start on our pasta sauce, which is pesto sauce, but after that, we'll do that. And then you just take it out now. Now, as we can see, beautiful golden brown. Put it on a wire rack, let all that oil, excess oil, drip off. You don't want none of that. That one could have browned up just a little bit more. I'm gonna finish this up, and then like I said, we'll get started on our pasta. Now that our chicken is done, we can go in there to make our sauce, starting off with some butter, because butter make everything taste better, literally. Throw a little butter on something, it's gonna amp up the flavor. We'll let that melt down. Then of course, we'll go in there with everybody's favorite, some garlic, and we'll just let this get fragrant. It shouldn't take too long, maybe 20, 30 seconds. Once you start to smell it, oh yeah, you can smell it already. So we'll go another 5, 10 seconds. Let that mix up, and then we're gonna go in there and add our pesto. So this is emulating the marinara sauce, typically what you would get on chicken Parmesan, but instead it's pesto. So now we can add that. We'll probably add a good little bit of it. Oh yeah, that's looking good to me. And then, of course, to make it a little bit more creamier, that's just gonna brighten the color up just a little bit. Probably about a cup or so. How much is that? That's almost a cup of heavy cream. And we're gonna give this a good mix. Let it combine over the next couple minutes. We'll bring it up to a simmer. Let it thicken up a little bit. And it's go time. All right, so right now, this is all looking good to me. It's coming together. It's thickened up quite a bit. So we can scoot this to the side. Let's see if I can do this all in one frame. Scoot that to the side. We got our chicken that we're using today. We can take this off the heat. Bring back a spoon. We can just spoon all this delicious sauce right on top of it. Again, this is supposed to emulate the marinara sauce now. So you can go as much or as little as you like. Dealer's choice. But just make sure you love it. That's all I want you to do. So we'll spread that across of that. I think this is gonna be fantastic. What do y'all think? Y'all comment down below if y'all think this is gonna be fantastic. Have you heard of this before too? I'll tell y'all where I got this from at the end, but okay, good. That actually looks really good. Like I'm happy with that. Okay, and then of course the pasta is gonna go in there, so I'm gonna show y'all that. And then we need to top it with mozzarella. A couple slices of so. I love mozzarella cheese. Is this one of your top 3 cheeses? I think it is with me. And this is fresh. You can use bag stuff, but why would you want to use bag stuff in this application? 3 pieces does the job for me. And then just to top it all off, we'll go over the top of that with just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. I think we're in for a treat, guys. What y'all think? I know so. All right, now that this is done, you're gonna go ahead and place it in an oven on broil just till the cheese is melted, get a little bit of color on it. We'll take it out, plate up, and then it's time to go. To build this, obviously we're gonna go down there with our pasta just to give it a nice landing place. That's a little bit. Guys, remember, always try to make your food pretty for your guests. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to clean this up, make it look just delicious. And then to top it all off, you can take that very steaming hot piece of chicken and just plate that right up. Oh, that looks good. Tell me that doesn't look good, y'all. You lying. And then we'll go over the top of that with just a little bit more Parmesan cheese. Can't go wrong with that. A nice little dusting. And then for a pop of color, just a couple red pepper flakes here and there. Not too many, just like so. And boom, here we have chicken Parmesan. I don't want it to like fall, but doesn't that just look amazing? I'm happy with that. I'm gonna take this thumbnail and then we're gonna take this bite. I'm super excited. 1, because I've been trying the pasta. It hit the spot. 2, I haven't had chicken Parmesan in God knows how long. So I'm excited to do this. And what inspo this, I know I said I'd tell y'all, was my mom. She went out to a restaurant back home and they served this. And it's been a restaurant I've been wanting to try for the longest, but I never got a chance before I moved out here. So I was like, I'm gonna make that. And of course, I'm gonna make it better in my opinion. Oh my goodness gracious. You can't go for too big of a bite, you know? You gotta be careful. And let it cool off too, for real. Don't burn your mouth biting into some hot chicken Parmesan. 1 big bite. Cheers to y'all. Eat great food. I appreciate all of the support. Before I take this bite, if you're not subscribed, please, I truly appreciate it. I'm gonna put the statistic up right here. That's how many people that watch the video and are subscribed. If you like what you see, just hit the subscribe button. It don't cost you a thing, but it means everything to me. I'm trying to reach my freedom and I need y'all's help. For I am not trying to go to work on Monday, but I got to, you know? But nonetheless, this looks great. My mouth is watering. Cheers to y'all. Wow. Let me take one more bite just to make sure that wasn't a fluke. Good Lord. Oh my Lord. Oh, I need some pasta because that pasta hits a spot. Y'all, this really might be top 5, if not top 10. I know I always say that. I love pesto. I made pesto like 3 or 4 times on the page. That's how much I love pesto. So anything pesto, I'm always gonna hit it. The chicken is crispy, the mozzarella, the Parmesan cheese. The pesto is amazing as usual. Y'all know me, I'm not gonna overanalyze it. Try it for yourself and I promise you, you'll have the same reaction that I'm having. But like always guys, I appreciate all the love and support. Please subscribe, please. I'm trying to do this thing. I'm trying to make this full time. I'm not trying to work. But all jokes aside, come back next week. I'll probably be baking next week. I haven't baked anything or made anything sweet in so long. I've been craving something sweet. So that's what we're gonna make next week. Come back, it'll be a banger like always. Peace. Grub time.